Angie Carpenter has been Islip Town supervisor for almost a decade, giving her a bird's eye view of the red wave that has swept Long Island. Before we talk about the red wave, I want to talk to you about housing in Long Island. And I know that it's been an interesting road for Governor Hochul to trod, because Governor Hochul is trying to get housing around transit areas. And I wonder your view of developing housing alternatives around train stations and other places in Islip and Long Island.
Well, in Islip, we are a textbook example of transit-oriented development. We just opened up, the developer,
Bayshore?
In Bayshore, right across the street from the railroad station, a bus stop right in front of the development, about a block or half a block from the downtown area, 2 blocks from the ferry, and an Uber ride away from the airport. So you don't get much more transit-oriented than that.
So how did you do that? The governor has had a difficult time convincing localities to do that. There's been a lot of pushback in Albany, and she wasn't able to get a large consensus to do it, you know, citywide, statewide, Long Island-wide, any-wide. Well, and I wonder how you were able to see it as an option and to make it happen.
Well, I think community engagement is very important, and I've told any developer that comes in with a project, especially if it's a substantial one like that, that you've got to reach out to the community, reach out to the chambers, to the civics, bring them in, you know, have them be a part of the process, get their input. And we did that with that project. We did that with another project on 87 acres in central Islip that has been developed. In fact, it's being leased up now. And I've had those conversations with the governor. In fact, we invited her to come to Bayshore, and she actually stood in that development called Shoregate. And I said to her, you know, you have to understand, we locally know how to do it. Give us an opportunity to do it. Doing it from a state level isn't necessarily the right answer. So you want to do it yourself as opposed to being imposed on you by the state of New York. Exactly, exactly.
So you have been in this job for almost a decade, and we should point out that Islip is the 3rd largest town in the state, but it gives you a bird's eye view of the red wave that has swept Long Island. I wonder why you think it's happened and whether it will continue.
Well, I think people struggle every single day. The cost of living has gone up. We see people leaving our area. They're struggling to stay here, whether they're, you know, empty nesters who want to stay on Long Island with their family but feel forced to leave because taxes are just too high, or it's young people looking to stay. And
so why have people, you know, decided that the Republicans are the ones who can do that?
Well, I think that, you know, the Republican Party has portrayed itself and has demonstrated itself as one of less government, less intrusion, and I think people like to hear that. The latest issue with the housing, people really pushed back on the governor, and I know that she was well-meaning, and, you know, I've had those conversations with her, even though we're different political parties.
Less government, less pressure from the state.
Yeah. Yeah, I really think that, and work with us, you know, work with us. And she has an opportunity now. I've given it to her. We have a project at our airport, Long Island MacArthur Airport, that we have been working diligently on for years to try to expand the service that we have there. The New York City airports are so congested, and we offer an incredible opportunity at Long Island MacArthur Airport. And there's a project on the books and is very near to starting if we get a commitment from the governor for some infrastructure funding. I've asked her for $150 million to help with the infrastructure necessary. It's Midway Crossing. It's a multi-billion-dollar project anchored by a life sciences center, the kinds of jobs.
So basically you want to have more flights that would leave MacArthur, which would relieve the congestion at the other New York airports.
Yeah, we've actually, just yesterday, I had an opportunity to go into JetBlue headquarters and meet with some of the leadership team there and talk about the opportunities that we have at our airport.
Would you have to extend the runways there?
No. No.
So the runways are fine?
Everything is ready to go. We've got plenty of ticket counter space. We have plenty of
So what's the $150 million for?
For the Midway Crossing project, which again is a multi-billion-dollar project that not only provides a tremendous amount of construction jobs, but sustainable long-term jobs into the future. We're talking 6-figure jobs. It is anchored by a life sciences center, convention center, hotel, a massive project, but it's going to need infrastructure investment. So that's $150 million to help start with the roads that have to be constructed or reconstructed, grade crossing, upgrades, etc.
So let's talk politics for a minute. Long Island has a number of freshman Republican congressmen who want to keep their jobs in November, and they're going to be under intense scrutiny and attack by Democrats who want to stop them from going back to Washington. What are going to be the key issues? And, you know, the Democrats are trying to paint them as anti-abortion. And is that going to be a key factor in whether they can keep hold on their positions?
Well, first of all, as a woman, and I'm sure you can relate to it, I don't think that belongs being an issue in government. You know,
but it's going to be.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And I think Trump, and I'm not a big rah-rah Trump supporter, don't get me wrong, you know, but he was right to say that belongs with the states. That is not something that should be debated on a national level. So you don't think that,
so in other words, the candidates who are going to run, the Republicans who are now in office, you don't think that they should rise to the bait that the Democrats are going to throw at them of saying that they're anti-abortion?
Absolutely. I think that's a very fair statement. They shouldn't rise to that bait. They should run on their records. They should run on their records of being responsive to the people that they represent in their districts. They're all running for re-election. We have Andrew Garbarino, Congressman Garbarino, Esposito, LaLota. They have all proven that they're working for the people. And I think the thing that the Democrats are really struggling with is the fact that they've got someone in the White House who really isn't doing what he should be doing. The economy is bad. You know, the cost of a loaf of bread, and people are seeing it. They're seeing it, and they're realizing it's coming. The trickle down from Washington is affecting everyone from, you know, just going to the supermarket. So I think that's what the Democrats should be concerned about.
So we only have about 30 seconds left, but so you think that inflation and the high cost of living under the Democrats is going to be a key issue in the November elections?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's all about the money, and it's all about the fact that people are struggling to make ends meet, struggling to stay here. The state of New York has lost a lot of population. We've been pretty solid, you know, on the island. And I think it's because of the governance that the Republican townships have shown: Brookhaven, Hempstead, Smithtown, and of course Islip.
We have to get in a plug for Islip.
Absolutely.
And on that note, we're going to have to leave it there for right now, but we'll be right back.